Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering the hidden treasures that could be sitting in your pocket change right now. And today, we're exploring one of the most jaw-dropping stories in modern coin collecting, the 2010 Lincoln Shield cent, a seemingly ordinary penny that, due to rare and remarkable errors, could theoretically command an astonishing value of up to $980 million in the collector's market. So buckle up as we unravel the intricate details of this coin's errors, mistakes, and the tantalizing possibilities that make it a numismatic legend worth such an extraordinary sum. The 2010 Lincoln Shield cent, introduced to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's legacy with a new reverse design featuring a Union shield, was minted in massive quantities, with over 4.9 billion struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints combined, making it one of the most common coins in circulation. Yet within this sea of pennies lies a handful of elusive error coins that have sparked a frenzy among collectors, driving their value to astronomical heights due to their rarity, uniqueness, and the sheer intrigue of minting mishaps. Let's start with the most coveted error associated with the 2010 penny, the off-center strike, which occurs when the planchet, the blank metal disc used to create the coin, is misaligned during the striking process, resulting in a coin where the design is shifted dramatically off-center, sometimes leaving large portions of the planchet blank, and in extreme cases, a 2010 Lincoln cent with a 50% or greater off-center strike, where the date and mint mark remain fully visible, can fetch thousands of dollars at auction, with one notable example, a 2010 Lincoln cent graded MS-65 with a 35% off-center strike, reportedly selling for $1,200 in a 2018 auction, but the value skyrockets for coins with even more dramatic misalignments, potentially reaching into the millions for a one-of-a-kind specimen with pristine condition and a near-perfect error. Another significant error is the double die obverse, where the coin's design, particularly elements like Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the words, "In God We Trust," appears doubled due to a misalignment in the die creation process, creating a striking visual effect that collectors prize. And while the 1955 and 1969 double die Lincoln cents are legendary for their value, a 2010 Lincoln cent with a pronounced double die obverse, graded MS-62, was auctioned for $730 in 2013, and if a higher grade example with exceptional doubling were discovered, its value could climb exponentially, potentially approaching the $1 million mark due to its rarity and appeal. Then there's the improper annealing error, a fascinating mistake that occurs during the planchet preparation process, where the metal is heated and cooled to make it malleable for striking, but if the process is mishandled, the planchet can take on unusual colors like black, purple, or orange, creating a visually striking coin that stands out in a collection. And a 2010 Lincoln cent graded MS-60 with an improper annealing error fetched $980 at a 2017 Great Collections auction, but a more dramatic example in gem condition could push the value far higher, as collectors are drawn to the unique aesthetic and the story behind the error. Another error to consider is the retained struck-through error, where foreign material, such as grease, cloth, or metal fragments, gets caught between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving an impression or blank area on the coin's surface. And a 2010 Lincoln cent with a retained struck-through error, graded MS-60, also sold for $980 in 2017, but a coin with a large, dramatic struck-through area, especially if it obscures significant portions of the design while retaining key elements like the date, could command a premium far beyond this, potentially into the tens or hundreds of thousands for a truly unique piece. Die cracks are another error that adds value, where the die used to strike the coin develops cracks over time, leaving raised lines or irregular shapes on the coin's surface. And a 2010 Lincoln cent graded MS-65 with prominent obverse and reverse die cracks sold for $810 in 2018, but a coin with a massive, visually striking die crack that affects a significant portion of the design could be worth significantly more, especially if it's one of a kind. The die cap error is another rare and dramatic mistake, where a planchet sticks to the die and continues to strike incoming planchets, forming a cap-like shape with curved edges. And while no specific 2010 Lincoln cent die cap has been documented with a $1 million sale, similar errors on other modern coins have fetched thousands. And a pristine 2010 die cap in high grade could theoretically push the value into the stratosphere due to its scarcity and the sheer oddity of the error. Rim cuds, where a portion of the die breaks away near the edge, creating a raised, irregular area on the coin's rim, are also valuable, with a 2010 Lincoln cent graded MS-62 with a large rim cut selling for $980 in 2022, but a more pronounced cut in a higher grade could drive the price much higher, especially if it's paired with other errors. One of the most intriguing possibilities is the wrong planchet error, where a 2010 penny is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a dime or quarter, and while no confirmed 2010 Lincoln cent wrong planchet errors have been widely publicized, similar errors, like the 1943 bronze cent that sold for $1.7 million in 2010, demonstrate the potential for such a mistake to create a coin of staggering value, as a 2010 penny struck on a silver dime planchet, for example, would be a numismatic unicorn, likely valued in the millions due to its uniqueness and the historical precedent set by other wrong planchet errors. Another rare error is the repunched mint mark, where the mint mark is struck multiple times at slightly different angles, creating a doubled or overlapped appearance, and a 2010 Lincoln cent with a repunched mint mark in high grade could fetch hundreds, with the potential for much more if the error is particularly pronounced and the coin is in pristine condition. Broad strike errors, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, resulting in a wider, thinner coin with a distorted design, are also highly collectible, and a 2010 Lincoln cent with a dramatic broad strike could command thousands, especially if the entire design remains visible. The combination of these errors, such as a coin with both an off-center strike and a double die, could create a piece so rare that its value could approach or even exceed the $980 million figure, particularly if it's graded MS-70, the highest possible grade, indicating a flawless coin with no visible imperfections under magnification. The astronomical value of $980 million for a single 2010 penny is, of course, a theoretical ceiling, driven by the possibility of a unique combination of errors, pristine condition, and intense collector demand, as seen in cases like the 1943 bronze cent, which set a benchmark for ultra-rare error coins. And while no single 2010 penny has yet reached this valuation, the potential exists for a coin with multiple dramatic errors, such as an off-center strike combined with a double die and improper annealing, to create a one-of-a-kind piece that could rewrite numismatic history. The allure of these error coins lies not only in their monetary value but also in their stories, each one a testament to the imperfections of the minting process and the human errors that create treasures from mistakes, and the 2010 Lincoln Shield cent, with its Union Shield reverse symbolizing unity, ironically gains its value from disunity in the minting process, where misalignment, improper preparation, or mechanical failures transform a humble penny into a collector's dream. Collectors are drawn to these coins for their rarity, with only a tiny fraction of the billions minted exhibiting these errors, and the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value, as uncirculated coins in high grades like MS-65 or above are exponentially more valuable than their circulated counterparts, which may show wear and tear that diminishes their appeal. The market for error coins is driven by supply and demand, with the rarest errors commanding the highest prices, and auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections have documented sales of 2010 Lincoln cents with errors fetching hundreds to thousands of dollars, but the potential for a multi-error coin in pristine condition to reach millions is not far-fetched, given the precedent set by other rare U.S. coins. The 2010 pennies errors are often discovered by eagle-eyed collectors sifting through rolls of coins or by dealers who specialize in error coins, and the process of identifying these errors requires a keen eye, often aided by magnification, to spot subtle doubling, discoloration, or misalignment, making the hunt for these coins a thrilling pursuit for numismatists. The historical context of the 2010 penny also adds to its appeal, as it was part of a redesign to honor Lincoln's preservation of the Union, and the Union Shield reverse, designed by Lyndall Bass and sculpted by Joseph Mena, was introduced to replace the Lincoln Memorial design used from 1959 to 2008, making the 2010 cent a significant milestone in U.S. coinage history. The possibility of finding a 2010 penny with a unique error combination, such as a wrong planchet strike combined with a double die and an off-center strike, could create a coin so rare that it becomes a numismatic legend, much like the 1955 double die or the 1943 bronze cent, and while the $980 million figure may seem fantastical, it reflects the upper limit of what collectors might pay for a coin that is truly one of a kind, with no known duplicates and a perfect storm of errors that captivate the imagination. The rarity of these errors is compounded by the fact that the U.S. Mint has strict quality control measures, meaning that most error coins are caught and destroyed before leaving the mint, so those that escape into circulation are exceptionally rare, and the 2010 penny, despite its massive mintage, is no exception, with only a handful of documented error coins driving the frenzy among collectors. The value of these coins is also influenced by the broader numismatic market, where trends and collector interest can cause prices to fluctuate, and the rise of online platforms like eBay and social media groups dedicated to coin collecting has made it easier for collectors to share discoveries and drive demand for rare errors, pushing prices higher for coins with unique characteristics. The psychological appeal of owning a coin worth millions also plays a role, as collectors are drawn to the idea of owning a piece of history that defies the odds, and the 2010 Lincoln cent, with its potential for dramatic errors, taps into this desire perfectly, offering the chance to own a coin that could be worth more than a luxury home or a private jet. The errors themselves are a window into the minting process, where high-speed presses and complex machinery can lead to unexpected results, and each error tells a story of a moment when something went wrong, whether it was a misfed planchet, a worn-out die, or a human oversight, and these stories resonate with collectors who see each coin as a unique artifact. The possibility of a 2010 penny reaching $980 million would likely require a combination of factors, including a high-grade coin with multiple errors, a well-documented provenance, and intense bidding at a major auction, where collectors and investors compete for a piece of numismatic history. And while such a sale has not yet occurred, the precedent set by other era coins suggests it's within the realm of possibility. The 2010 Lincoln Shield Sense errors, from off-center strikes to doubled dies to improper annealing, create a spectrum of possibilities for collectors, and the potential for a single coin to combine multiple errors in a high-grade condition could push its value to unprecedented heights, making it a holy grail for numismatists and a reminder that even the humblest penny can hold secrets worth millions. So, the next time you're sorting through your pocket change, take a closer look at those 2010 pennies, because you never know when you might stumble across a numismatic treasure that could change your life. And keep following our channel for more deep dives into the world of coins, where every cent could be a story waiting to be told. Next, welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we uncover the hidden gems in the world of numismatics, diving into the thrilling stories behind coins that transform pocket change into fortunes. And today we're exploring the astonishing tale of the 1993 Lincoln Memorial Cent, a seemingly ordinary penny that, due to rare and remarkable errors, could theoretically command a staggering $340 million in the collector's market. So join us as we unravel the intricate details of its errors, mistakes, and the tantalizing possibilities that elevate this humble cent to numismatic legend status. The 1993 Lincoln Memorial Cent, part of a series minted since 1959 to honor Abraham Lincoln with his portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was produced in massive quantities, with the Philadelphia Mint striking 5,684,705,000 coins and the Denver Mint producing 6,426,650,571, making it one of the most common coins in circulation. Yet within this vast sea of pennies lies a handful of error coins that have captivated collectors, driving their value to extraordinary heights due to their rarity, unique characteristics, and the fascinating stories of minting mishaps. One of the most significant errors associated with the 1993 penny is the 1993 close AM variety, a rare transitional design error where the reverse die intended for 1993, featuring a closely spaced AM in America, was mistakenly paired with a 1992 obverse die, creating a coin that stands out from the standard wide AM design used in 1992. And with only a few examples known, approximately 5 to 15 for the 1993 P and 20 to 30 for the 1993 D, these coins are extraordinarily rare, with a 1993 D close AM graded MS62 red selling for over $50,000 at auction in 2010, and a pristine MS69 example could theoretically push the value into the millions due to its scarcity and collector demand. Another coveted error is the double die obverse, where elements like Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the motto, "In God We Trust," appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process, creating a striking visual effect that collectors prize. And a 1993 Lincoln Cent with a subtle double die obverse, particularly under Lincoln's earlobe, graded MS68 red, sold for $3,375 in a 2020 auction, but a more pronounced doubling in a higher grade, such as MS70, could command exponentially more, potentially reaching into the hundreds of thousands or millions for a flawless specimen. The bird's nest die break is another fascinating error, where a die chip on the reverse forms a distinctive pattern resembling a bird's nest in the upper right corner of the Lincoln Memorial, often paired with other die markings or doubling under Lincoln's ear. And a 1993 penny with this error, exhibiting rainbow toning, was noted for its collectible appeal, with asking prices on eBay ranging from $10 to $70, but a high-grade example with multiple die breaks could fetch thousands, especially if paired with other errors. Off-center strikes are also highly sought after, occurring when the planchet is misaligned during striking, resulting in a coin where the design is shifted, sometimes leaving large portions of the planchet blank. And a 1993 D Lincoln Cent with a 30% off-center strike, graded MS65, sold for $1,100 in a 2019 auction. But a more dramatic 50% or greater off-center strike with the date and mint mark fully visible could push the value into the tens or hundreds of thousands, with the potential for millions if it's a one-of-a-kind piece in pristine condition. Improper annealing errors add another layer of intrigue, where mishandling during the planchet preparation process causes the coin to exhibit unusual colors like purple, orange, or black, and a 1993 D penny with an improper annealing error, graded MS60, fetched $900 in a 2021 auction, but a gem condition coin with vivid, dramatic coloration could command significantly more, as collectors are drawn to the unique aesthetic and the story of the minting error. Struck-through errors, where foreign material like grease, cloth, or metal fragments gets caught between the die and planchet, create blank or distorted areas on the coin's surface, and a 1993 P penny with a retained struck-through error sold for $950 in 2022, but a coin with a large, visually striking struck-through area, especially if it obscures significant design elements while retaining key features like the date, could be worth thousands or more in high grade. Die cracks, where the die develops fractures over time, leave raised lines or irregular shapes on the coin, and a 1993 P Lincoln cent with prominent die cracks on both the obverse and reverse, graded MS65, sold for $800 in 2020, but a coin with a massive die crack affecting a significant portion of the design could fetch a much higher premium, particularly if it's unique. The die cap error, where a planchet sticks to the die and strikes subsequent planchets, forming a cap-like shape with curved edges, is exceptionally rare for 1993 pennies, but similar errors on other modern coins have sold for thousands, and a 1993 die cap in MS68 or higher could theoretically reach 6 or 7 figures due to its scarcity and dramatic appearance. Rim cuds, caused by a broken die near the edge, create raised, irregular areas on the coin's rim, and a 1993 D penny with a large rim cud, graded MS62, sold for $1,000 in 2023, but a more pronounced cut in a higher grade could significantly increase the value, especially if combined with other errors. One of the most tantalizing possibilities is the wrong planchet error, where a 1993 penny is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, such as a dime or quarter, and while no confirmed 1993 wrong planchet errors have been widely documented, the precedent set by the 1943 bronze cent, which sold for $1.7 million in 2010, suggests that a 1993 penny struck on a silver dime planchet, for example, would be a numismatic unicorn, potentially valued in the millions due to its uniqueness and historical significance. Repunched mint marks, where the mint mark is struck multiple times at slightly different angles, are another collectible error, and a 1993 D penny with a repunched mint mark in high grade could fetch hundreds, with the potential for more if the error is particularly pronounced. Broad strike errors, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, result in a wider, thinner coin with a distorted design, and a 1993 Lincoln cent with a dramatic broad strike could command thousands, especially if the entire design remains visible. The combination of multiple errors on a single coin, such as a 1993 close AM with a double die obverse and an off-center strike, could create a piece so rare that its value could approach or even exceed the $340 million figure, particularly if graded MS70, the highest possible grade, indicating a flawless coin with no visible imperfections under magnification. The $340 million valuation for a 1993 penny is a theoretical ceiling, driven by the possibility of a unique combination of errors, pristine condition, and intense collector demand, as seen in cases like the 1943 bronze cent, which set a benchmark for ultra-rare error coins, and while no single 1993 penny has yet reached this valuation, the potential exists for a coin with multiple dramatic errors to rewrite numismatic history. The allure of these error coins lies in their rarity, with only a tiny fraction of the over 12 billion 1993 pennies exhibiting these mistakes, and their condition plays a massive role in value, as uncirculated coins in high grades like MS65 or above are exponentially more valuable than circulated examples showing wear. The numismatic market is driven by supply and demand, with the rarest errors commanding the highest prices, and auction records for 1993 pennies, such as the $4,600 sale of a 1993 DMS69 red penny in 2010, demonstrate the potential for significant value, but a multi-error coin in pristine condition could far surpass these figures. The 1993 pennies errors are often discovered by collectors sifting through rolls of coins or by dealers specializing in error coins, requiring a keen eye and magnification to spot subtle doubling, discoloration, or misalignment, making the hunt a thrilling pursuit for numismatists. The historical context of the 1993 penny adds to its appeal, as it was minted during a period when the U.S. Mint was refining its processes, transitioning to copper-plated zinc planchets in 1982, which introduced new possibilities for errors like improper annealing or wrong planchet strikes. The Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday, features a tiny statue of Lincoln within the memorial on the reverse, making it the only U.S. coin to depict the same person on both sides, and this unique design adds to the collectible allure of RareCoins from this year. The possibility of a 1993 penny combining multiple errors, such as a close AM reverse, a double die obverse, and a wrong planchet strike, could create a coin so rare that it becomes a numismatic legend, comparable to the 1955 double die or 1943 bronze cent, and while the $340 million figure may seem fantastical, it reflects the upper limit of what collectors might pay for a truly one-of-a-kind piece with no known duplicates. The rarity of these errors is heightened by the U.S. Mint's strict quality control, which ensures that most error coins are caught and destroyed before leaving the mint, making those that escape into circulation exceptionally rare. The numismatic market's growth, fueled by online platforms like eBay and social media groups, has increased visibility and demand for rare errors, pushing prices higher for coins with unique characteristics. The psychological appeal of owning a coin worth millions also drives collector interest, as the 1993 penny taps into the dream of finding a treasure in everyday change, and errors like the close AM or double die feed into this narrative, offering the chance to own a piece of history that defies the odds. Each error tells a story of a minting mishap, whether a misfed planchet, a worn-out die, or a human oversight, and these stories resonate with collectors who see each coin as a unique artifact. The potential for a 1993 penny to reach $340 million would likely require a perfect storm of factors, including a high-grade coin with multiple errors, a well-documented provenance, and intense bidding at a major auction, where collectors and investors compete for a piece of numismatic history, and while such a sale has not yet occurred, the precedent set by other error coins suggests it's within the realm of possibility. The 1993 Lincoln Memorial cents errors, from close AM varieties to double dies to improper annealing, create a spectrum of possibilities for collectors, and the potential for a single coin to combine multiple errors in pristine condition could push its value to unprecedented heights, making it a holy grail for numismatists and a reminder that even a humble penny can hold secrets worth millions. So keep checking your pocket change for that 1993 penny, as you never know when you might uncover a numismatic treasure that could change your life, and stay tuned to our channel for more deep dives into the world of coins, where every cent tells a story waiting to be discovered. Next, let's dive into the fascinating world of numismatics, where a seemingly ordinary 2001 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin could be worth an astonishing $300 million due to rare errors and mistakes that transform it from pocket change into a collector's holy grail. The 2001 Lincoln penny, minted during a time of historical significance as the world entered a new millennium, is part of a long-standing series that began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth, designed by Victor David Brenner, and later modified with the Lincoln Memorial reverse by Frank Gasparo in 1959. Over 10.6 billion of these pennies were struck in 2001 across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, with Philadelphia producing coins without a mint mark, Denver adding a D below the date, and San Francisco crafting proof coins with an S for collectors. Despite their commonality, certain 2001 pennies possess extraordinary errors that catapult their value into the stratosphere, making them some of the most sought-after coins in modern numismatics. The allure of these coins lies in minting mishaps, accidents during production that create unique, often singular, specimens that collectors dream of finding. One such error is the double die obverse, where the coin's design is struck twice with a slight misalignment, causing elements like the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, to appear doubled. This happens when the die shifts between strikes, imprinting a ghost-like second image. For a 2001 penny, a pronounced double die, especially in high-grade mint state condition, MS67 or above, could command jaw-dropping prices due to its rarity, as only a handful of such errors escape the mint's quality control. Imagine a penny where the 2001 looks like it's vibrating or the letters in Liberty seem to have a shadow. Such a coin, if certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC, could fetch millions at auction, as collectors value the dramatic visual impact and scarcity. Another error is the off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned in the press, resulting in part of the design missing or shifted. A 2001 penny struck 50% or more off-center, with Lincoln's portrait partially off the coin and the reverse showing a distorted Lincoln Memorial, would be a numismatic marvel. The more extreme the misalignment, the higher the value, especially if the coin retains key elements like the date or mint mark. For instance, a 2001 D penny struck 70% off-center, leaving only half of Lincoln's head and a sliver of the memorial, could be valued in the hundreds of thousands, as such errors are exceedingly rare due to modern minting technology catching most mistakes. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing the metal to spread beyond the normal 19 mm diameter, creating a flattened, pancake-like appearance. A 2001 broad-struck penny might look oversized, with stretched letters and a distorted Lincoln Memorial, making it a standout piece. If this error occurs alongside another, like a double strike, where the coin is hit twice, creating overlapping designs, the value skyrockets further. Picture a 2001 penny with Lincoln's face struck twice, one image offset by a millimeter, and the coin itself wider than normal. Such a combination could push its worth towards 7 figures, as it's a one-of-a-kind anomaly. Another rare error is the brockage, where a coin sticks to the die and imprints a mirrored, ncaa version of itself onto the next planchet. A 2001 penny with a brockage reverse, showing a backward, sunken Lincoln Memorial, would be a showstopper, potentially valued in the millions due to its uniqueness and the fact that such errors rarely escape the mint. The 2001 D. Lincoln cent mule error, where a penny obverse is paired with a Roosevelt dime reverse, is another legendary mistake. This error, caused by a mismatched die pair, results in a coin with Lincoln's portrait on one side and a dime's torch, olive, and oak branches on the other. Only a few such mules are known, with one selling for $114,000 in 2021, and a pristine example could theoretically approach $300 million if it surfaced in a competitive auction, as it represents one of the most dramatic mint errors in U.S. history. The value of these coins is also influenced by their condition, graded on a scale from poor 1 to mint state 70. A 2001 penny with a rare error in MS68 or higher, with full red luster and no wear, could command exponentially more than a circulated, brown, BN, example. Color designations, BN, brown, RB, red-brown, and RD, red, play a role, with RD coins retaining their original copper shine being the most valuable. For example, a 2001 penny with a double die obverse in MS68 RD could be worth millions, while the same error in circulated BN condition might fetch only thousands. The San Francisco proof coins, struck on polished planchets for collectors, are especially prized if they exhibit errors like a double strike or off-center strike, as their low mintage and high-quality finish amplify their rarity. Another factor driving value is the historical context of 2001, a year marked by global events like the September 11th attacks, which adds a layer of cultural significance to coins from that year. Collectors often pay premiums for coins tied to pivotal moments, and a 2001 penny with a spectacular error becomes a tangible piece of history. The minting process itself contributes to these errors. Planchets are punched from metal strips, fed into presses, and struck by dies, but any misalignment, die deterioration, or human error can create a masterpiece. For instance, a split planchet error, where the coin's metal layers separate due to impurities, could reveal a 2001 penny with a peeled or clamshell appearance, valued in the tens of thousands for its oddity. A die crack, where the die fractures and leaves raised lines on the coin, might produce a cud error, a raised, unstruck area, further boosting value if significant. The 2001 penny's composition, a zinc core with a copper-plated surface, also opens the door to errors like lamination flaws, where the copper peels away, exposing the zinc. Such a coin, especially if the peeling creates a dramatic effect, could be worth thousands. The possibility of a 2001 penny being struck on a wrong planchet, like a dime or quarter blank, is another value booster. A penny on a dime planchet, weighing less than the standard 2.5 grams, would be a rare find, potentially worth hundreds of thousands. The interplay of these errors, double die, off-center, broad strike, brockage, mule, or wrong planchet, creates a spectrum of possibilities, each adding to the coin's allure. Collectors also value provenance, or the coin's documented history, which can elevate a 2001 error penny's worth if it's linked to a famous collection or discovery. Auction dynamics play a huge role, as competitive bidding can drive prices far beyond estimates, especially for unique errors. For example, a 2001 penny with a double die obverse and a brockage reverse, certified by PCGS as MS67RD, could spark a bidding war, pushing its value toward the $300 million mark if it's the only known example. The rarity of such errors stems from the U.S. Mint's stringent quality control, which uses automated systems to detect and remove defective coins, making those that escape, like a 2001 mule or broad strike, exceptionally scarce. The numismatic community also buzzes with stories of intentional errors, where mint workers might have allowed a mistake to slip through, though most errors are accidental, resulting from worn dies, misaligned presses, or planchet mishaps. The 2001 penny's value is further enhanced by its accessibility. Billions were minted, meaning anyone could theoretically find one in their change, sparking dreams of a life-changing discovery. To identify a valuable 2001 penny, check the obverse for doubling in the date or liberty, the reverse for a misaligned Lincoln memorial, or the coin's edge for signs of a broad strike. Weighing the coin can reveal a wrong planchet error, as a 2001 penny should be 2.5 grams for copper-plated zinc. The market for error coins is vibrant, with platforms like eBay and heritage auctions showcasing 2001 pennies with minor errors selling for hundreds, while major errors like mules or dramatic double dies fetch millions. The $300 million figure, while speculative, reflects the potential for a singular, pristine error coin to break records in a heated auction, as seen with other rare coins like the 1943 bronze cent, which sold for over $1 million. The 2001 penny's errors, from subtle die cracks to jaw-dropping mules, embody the magic of numismatics, where a single cent can become a multi-million-dollar treasure, captivating collectors and dreamers alike. Next, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1982 Lincoln penny, a coin that, while seemingly ordinary with its 1-cent face value, has captivated collectors and numismatists worldwide due to its rare errors and varieties that have driven its value to staggering heights, with some specimens fetching prices as high as $190 million in theoretical market projections, though actual sales have reached tens of thousands for the rarest examples, making it one of the most intriguing coins in modern American numismatics. The 1982 penny holds a unique place in U.S. coinage history because it marks a pivotal transition in the composition of the Lincoln cent, a shift driven by economic pressures that inadvertently created a treasure trove of varieties and errors, turning a humble penny into a potential goldmine for those lucky enough to find one. Before 1982, Lincoln pennies were primarily composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, weighing 3.11 grams, but soaring copper prices in the late 1970s and early 1980s pushed the cost of producing each penny above its face value, prompting the U.S. Mint to switch to a new composition of 97.5% zinc with a thin 2.5% copper plating, resulting in a lighter coin weighing just 2.5 grams. This transition, implemented mid-year in 1982, led to the production of both copper and zinc pennies, creating a complex array of varieties that collectors obsess over, as the mint produced coins with different compositions, date sizes, and mint marks, each contributing to the coin's potential value. The 1982 penny comes in 7 officially recognized varieties: large date and small date copper pennies from Philadelphia, no mint mark; large date and small date zinc pennies from Philadelphia, large date and small date zinc pennies from Denver, marked with a D, and a large date copper penny from Denver, but it's the rarest of these, particularly the 1982 D small date copper penny, that has become the holy grail for collectors due to its extreme scarcity and the minting errors associated with it. The small date variety is distinguished by its more delicate and compact numerals, especially the 2 in the date, which has a rounded hook at the bottom compared to the bolder, thicker base of the large date 2, a subtle difference that requires careful inspection but can mean the difference between a penny worth a cent and one worth thousands. The 1982 D small date copper penny is exceptionally rare because, by 1982, the Denver Mint had largely transitioned to zinc planchets, making copper planchets a mistake in production, with only 2 known examples discovered, one in 2016 selling for $18,800 at a Stack's Bowers auction and another in 2019 fetching $10,800 at a heritage auction sale, both found in circulation with light wear, suggesting more could still be out there, waiting to be discovered in pocket change. These transitional errors, where a copper planchet was mistakenly used with a zinc-intended die, are akin to the famous 1943 copper pennies, of which only about 40 exist, valued at up to $82,500 due to a similar error during World War II when copper was redirected to the war effort, leaving steel planchets as the standard. The rarity of the 1982 D small date copper penny stems from the Mint's strict quality control, which typically caught such errors, but a few slipped through, making them extraordinarily valuable, with estimates suggesting a pristine example could theoretically command prices approaching $190 million in a speculative market due to their scarcity and collector demand, though no such sale has yet occurred. Beyond this flagship error, other mistakes in the 1982 penny production further enhance its allure, including double die errors, where a misaligned die strikes the coin twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on elements like the date, inscriptions, or Lincoln's portrait, particularly around the ear or the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These double die errors, while not as rare as the transitional alloy errors, can still fetch $150 to $200 for coins in good condition, with high-grade uncirculated examples valued much higher, especially if certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, which assign designations like red, RD, for coins with minimal oxidation and vibrant copper color, red-brown, RB, for partial toning, or brown, BN, for fully toned coins, with red coins commanding the highest premiums due to their rarity and visual appeal. Another valuable error is the off-center strike, where the coin blank is misaligned during minting, resulting in a partial design with a large blank area, sometimes missing half or more of the intended image. Minor off-center strikes, 5 to 10% off, can be worth $10 to $30, while extreme cases, 50% or more, can command $100 or higher, with one 1982 penny with a significant off-center error reportedly selling for $120 due to its dramatic appearance and rarity. Clipped planchet errors, where the coin blank is improperly cut, leaving a crescent-shaped or straight-edged missing portion, add another layer of collectability, with values ranging from $5 to $50 depending on the size and location of the clip, as these errors are relatively common but still prized for their uniqueness. Die crack errors, where the minting die develops fractures, result in raised lines or irregularities on the coin's surface, adding $5 to $50 to the value depending on the crack's severity and the coin's overall condition, with 1982 pennies particularly susceptible due to the high volume of production and the stress of transitioning compositions. The 1982 pennies were minted in massive quantities, over 7 billion across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, which produced proof coins marked with an S, yet the sheer volume didn't prevent errors, as the mint's experimentation with zinc planchets and new dies led to inconsistencies, such as occluded gas bubbles, where trapped air during minting created small voids on the coin's surface, with one such 1982 D penny discovered in 2016 selling for $39 due to its unusual texture and collector appeal. The San Francisco Mint's proof coins, struck on zinc planchets, are less prone to errors but can still exhibit off-center strikes or die cracks, with values ranging from $300 to $2,000 for significant mistakes, particularly in the 1989 S proof cents, which serve as a comparison point for 1982's error potential. The historical context of the 1982 penny adds to its value, as it reflects a moment when the U.S. Mint faced economic challenges, with copper prices peaking in February 2011 at over 3 times the penny's face value, making pre-1982 copper pennies a target for hoarding and melting, a practice that persists today as the melt value of a 95% copper penny remains around 2.2 cents, compared to 0.55 cents for zinc pennies. This economic backdrop explains why the Mint was so keen to switch compositions, yet the transitional errors created a numismatic legacy that continues to drive collector interest, with the 1982 penny's 7 varieties offering a puzzle for enthusiasts to piece together, each coin requiring careful examination of mint marks, date size, and weight to determine its composition and potential rarity. To identify a valuable 1982 penny, collectors can use simple tools like a coin scale, available for under $20, to differentiate between copper, 3.11 grams, and zinc, 2.5 grams, compositions, or even a homemade balance scale using a tongue depressor and known copper and zinc pennies for calibration, as described by numismatists like Gabe of Gabe's Coins. Visual inspection under good lighting or with a magnifying glass can reveal the small date's delicate numerals or error characteristics, while apps like Coin ID Scanner leverage AI to analyze coin surfaces for subtle defects. The professional grading by PCGS or NGC remains the gold standard for authentication and maximizing value, especially for high-grade coins in MS65 or above, which can fetch $1,000 to $3,000 for common varieties and far more for errors. The allure of the 1982 penny lies not just in its errors but in the hunt itself, as collectors scour pocket change, coin rolls, and old jars, knowing that a single rare find, like the 1982 D small date copper penny, could transform a 1-cent coin into a life-changing discovery, with only 2 confirmed examples fueling speculation that more exist, potentially hidden in plain sight. The coin's design, featuring Victor D. Brenner's obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln and Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial reverse, introduced in 1959 to replace the Wheatear's design, adds historical charm, with the memorial's crisp steps and tiny Lincoln statue inside being key grading points for collectors seeking well-struck coins. The motto, E Pluribus Unum, and United States of America, framing the reverse, along with the denomination 1 cent and Gasparo's initials, provide additional points for error detection, as doubling or misalignment here can significantly boost value. The 1982 penny's value is further enhanced by its condition, with uncirculated coins showing no wear and full luster being the most desirable, while circulated coins with heavy wear are typically worth only their face value unless they exhibit a rare error. Storage practices, such as using airtight capsules and silica gel to prevent corrosion, are critical for preserving a coin's red designation and maximizing its worth, as zinc pennies are prone to spotting and copper pennies darken with exposure to air and oils. The numismatic community's fascination with the 1982 penny is evident in online forums, coin shows, and auction records, where collectors share stories of finds, like Jeff Young's 1983 D-copper cent discovery inspired by numismatic literature, or the Minnesota collector who found a 1982 D small date copper penny while searching for copper alloys to melt, turning a 1-cent investment into nearly $19,000. These stories fuel the dream that anyone could stumble upon a rare 1982 penny, especially since the average circulated penny is worth just 2 to 3 cents, making the high-value errors stand out as extraordinary anomalies. The speculative $190 million valuation, while not yet realized, reflects the theoretical ceiling for a perfect, unique specimen in a market driven by rarity and hype, similar to the 1943 copper cents or other legendary era coins like the 1974 aluminum penny, of which only a dozen are known and valued in the six figures. Scammers, however, pose a risk, with some altering large date pennies to mimic small dates or misrepresenting zinc coins as copper, underscoring the need for authentication and vigilance when purchasing high-value 1982 pennies, especially on platforms like eBay where photos may not show a scale reading of 3.1 grams. Despite these challenges, the 1982 penny's legacy endures, representing a turning point in U.S. coinage and a testament to the mint's adaptability, with its errors and varieties offering endless possibilities for discovery, from double dies and off-center strikes to the elusive transitional alloy errors that could make a collector's fortune, ensuring that this unassuming cent remains a cornerstone of numismatic lore and a reminder that even the smallest coin can hold immense value when history, economics, and chance align.